Welcome along, the Beginner's Guide. The start of a new series here. This is from the guys who made the Stanley Parable, which is a bloody brilliant game, weird as you like. And I'm not sure what this is about. It seems to be me like you have to wander through someone's computer. They're a game programmer or something, and I'm not actually sure. So let's just find out together, shall we? Let's begin. I'm going to try and keep these to sort of 10 minutes-ish. Yes, the audio is on. Yep, we have that. That's good for me. There's my mouse.
Hi there.
Hi.
Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and
Okay,
while that
sit
game
back
tells
here.
a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction.
Okay.
I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Nice.
It's a level for
Can I
Counter-Strike.
move?
You
Yeah,
can
I
walk
move.
around here, by the way.
Okay, thanks.
And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
Nice.
But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the
Whoa.
illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead
yeah.
this level becomes
Floating
a
stuff.
kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all
Oh,
of Coda's
dead end.
games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's
Ooh, can you
exactly
jump up
what
there,
we're going
maybe?
to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and
can't
then
jump on
immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
Okay.
And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He
Clever.
tended to crank them out one after the other
Okay.
without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
Oh.
And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together. Is
Okay.
because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again.
Oh, missed.
And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda.
Okay.
So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
Okay.
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay. Oh, how's it going? Whoa! I got a gun. Right.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Which way to go? I could shoot him up. Which word? What? Oh, hang on. Yeah, this way.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
Through here? No.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere. but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
Oh.
You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are,
What's this?
rather than for what they're not.
Oh,
Enemy forces
I love
space.
how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Can I jump out there? No. Okay. No. This way. Yeah. I like it.
Apparently, this space station has a
Whoa.
labyrinth on it.
Whoa, what the?
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern,
How does this
so in
work?
the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
The whisper machine.
You there, in the engine room.
Yeah?
You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
My body.
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives,
You're going to kill
could
me.
you do it? Could you give yourself?
Gotta give myself. Okay. That's a nice little intro. Interesting. If you like this, not there's much to like because it's him talking a lot of the time, come and give me a like. Subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. I'm going to continue playing this. Another little 10-15 minute segment like this one. Subscribe to the channel, leave me some comments, that'd be great. And bye!